no matter our circumstances and what's unfolding around us, there's always this presence that is there, just loving us and supporting our life and supporting all that we do and all that we are, and it's just embracing us. And so coming back to our true nature and just being grateful for everything that unfolds in our lives as it unfolds, and allowing those things that we're learning, those circumstances, to really uplift us in different ways. So I guess like changing the perspective of how we see things, and this belief that we have to be hurt, this belief that, that wounded child of ours always has to be hurt or not heard or not seen, because our true nature is always seen. If you think about it, when we go outside, we don't realize how alive the trees are and the grass is and how everything's alive. And then we walk outside and then we're actually being seen by this greater presence. Like the sun's watching us, but not just watching us because it is us. We are the same energy. The trees, the grass, the flowers, everything. It's this presence that is watching us because it is us. And so this feeling that we have as the wounded child, always felt not seen, not heard, not felt. That I always felt unseen when I was little. I always felt like I wasn't wanted. I always felt like I wasn't deserved or worthy enough. And growing up, or the circumstances and everything that I've been through, it always has been, in my own emotions and my own reflections, always have been of not feeling worthy enough, not feeling like I deserve to be seen. But as I stepped away from that mindset, that belief system, and I started embodying my true nature and the true transformation, that the gift that God has for us, because that is the gift coming back home. And so we come into this earth with all the emotions that everything has to teach us to become, so we can come back to our true nature. Our true nature. What is our true nature? It's that divinity, that enjoying that moment, that realizing that under the problems or circumstances, there's always light to be seen. And then we can get in touch with that heart of compassion, because our heart of compassion will allow us to forgive, to let go, to see it with new eyes, and to embody a new way of living. And that might be setting boundaries. That might be letting things go, letting people go. That might be seeing things from a different perspective. But we know that there's always this presence that is leading us towards something right, that it will never let us down. But it's trusting this presence, because we sometimes forget to trust it. We go our lives running around in chaos, running around in misery, running around just believing that we deserved all that we attract, because it is because we're attracting it. We run around believing that this is our life, when life is so much bigger than that. It's getting in touch with each moment, not running from anything anymore. And so I invite you, if your nature is to run from the circumstances, if your nature is to always want and to hide away, that you allow yourself to be seen, but not by others, but from your true self, from your own self. That you take care of you. What is it that I need? What is it that I need to embody? What is it that needs to come through me? How does Spirit, God, universe want to use me? How can I be that vessel of love for others? But most importantly, how can I be that vessel of love for myself? And so, as we start destroying all the illusions that we have made, or all the illusions that were pregnated in us, because they're not ours. They come from since we were a child, and they also come from generational trauma. It doesn't belong to us. And so we can move forward in that new light. We can move forward in that new presence, and we welcome our own self. And this is why in the beginning I say, welcome your highest self. So each morning when you wake up, say, hi, highest self, I welcome you in. Because the shadow, obviously, it's hurt, it's egoistic, it only cares about itself in an ego aspect. But when we welcome the highest self, we just say, hello, welcome in. I welcome you this morning. I welcome you to this day. And so when problems arise, when circumstances arise, when we start feeling that lack mentality, because as science teaches us, 60,000 thoughts a day, 80% of them are negative. And so as we start teaching our mind to start seeing the greater good, that is our highest self. Say, look, there's something good there. Look, that tree's watching you. Look, the presence of spirit is in her smile. The presence of spirit is in her heart. The presence of spirit is everywhere. And so we start allowing ourselves to be in this energy of love, because it is the only energy that truly exists within us. Everything else, it's an illusion. So if you feel separate from source, if you feel lack from a person, or you feel jealous or hatred, or you're feeling resentment towards your partner, or you're just really upset, it all has to do because we're feeling a lack. There's a lack there. So I'm lacking something here that is blocking the love to come through. And what is it? And what will you find? Your wounded child. You'll find that little girl, that little boy that needed love, that needed nurture and didn't get it. You'll find generational trauma that's been passed through every cell of our being. That's blocking that love flow to come through. And you can sit there and you can simply, in meditation, you can sit and actually allow this presence. You can call the presence of your highest self. You can call the presence of God. You can do your own family constellations in your own meditation. You can call your ancestors. You can say, this doesn't belong to me. I'm ready to release it. I'm ready to embody the love that resides in my heart. I'm ready to step fully into my highest purpose, which is to remember the divinity. And so we believe, all of us believe, right? Because we're individual, we believe, well, you have this purpose. I have this purpose. Well, you have that purpose. But reality is that we are all in the same purpose, is to remember. Yes, each one of us has our own gifts, our own individualization of the divine, but it's the same divine consciousness. It is not separate for anything else. It is the only consciousness that exists. And so when we have a belief in the devil and darkness and something attacking us, is simply a lack mentality that humans have entertained for lifetimes. I know that I am ready to step away from that. I know that I am tired of seeing people live in religion dogma, in dogma itself. And I know that I'm tired of having to repeat same cycles. I know that I am tired of living a life of lack and limitation. And so I make a vow today that I welcome you to make it too, to really call forth the divinity in your heart and the sacredness, that you allow love to lead the way. And that when you don't understand, when you are confused, when your heart is broken, that you know that you can come back and you can ask those questions. Why? Why? Show me, Spirit. Give me clarity. Show me. Why? How can I overcome this? How can I move forward? How can I see the light from this darkness that I'm feeling? And you listen carefully and you allow Spirit to reveal it to you, because Spirit will always reveal it to you. But you have to be patient. You have to wait. You have to allow it to come through, because it is ready to embody you. Sometimes we call this energy and we're not even ready for it. We're not ready for the truthness of what it's going to tell us, because we want to blame others for our lives. We want to blame everyone around us. We want to play victim. But this is happening to me. But coming back to the heart tells us, well, do you remember that time when you were little? You felt unworthy? Well, that's coming back again, because you're feeling unworthy right now. So what is the truth about your being? The truth about you is that every single part of you is the divine expression of Spirit. That you are the divinity of Source. And as soon as we can let this truth come in, then we don't blame others for our circumstances. We realize that they're only here to guide us back home, and that we are here to lead that path so others can join us. We won't do the work for them, but we will guide ourselves, and they will see it. They will know it. They will realize it. Because the heart, at a soul level, it is one with Spirit, and all of us are in that same path. So the truth will always lead us back to the heart. So I invite you to take all that in and close your eyes for a few moments as we embody this light, this truthness in our heart. We let our heart open big in gratitude for all that we have lived, however it is we have lived it. And we step away from the victimhood and we step into the highest path, our highest self. We welcome that energy in. And we free ourselves from dogma. We free ourselves from limitation. We free ourselves from lack and illusions. And we allow ourselves to see things for what they are. There's only one truth. Not their truth, his truth, her truth. No. One truth. One divine truth. And that is the truth of the heart. So give yourself that space. To allow yourself to feel what needs to be felt.